Brian, what was your take on that game
tonight? I'm more looking about what we're going to do over the next 3-4 months, and if we're going to do anything this year, that has to happen to us. That level of performance has to happen. We've got to find out just how bad we can be, and that was bad tonight. But it wasn't without its moments, and it wasn't without moments where the team kept in it. Still kept fighting. I thought the Rhinos were white hot with the ball, has to be said. And every time we tried to make it a contest, they were just too good. So, once again, a little bit like last week, I'm reflecting on what wasn't a great performance, but at the same time, there's some bits in there where I just see the fellas not giving up. And we're clearly having a bit of a rough run at the moment. We're clearly not getting the bounce of the ball, and we're clearly not good enough in defence. There's a few things going against us right now, but this has to happen. If any team's going to grow and if any team's going to do anything special through a year, usually you find out how ugly you are. And we did.
Is it similar to when you were here as Leeds coach? You lost to Castleford that night, and you came out and said, "Don't write us off yet." Does it have a similar?
No.
Similar thing?
No. The contexts are massively different. But what you're trying to allude to, I think, if I'm going to put words in your mouth, is that. When everybody else is thinking that's it done, they're finished. How bad was that? If you hold your nerve and you just maintain a bit of calm, some positives can come out of a really poor performance like that. As I've already said, you find out how ugly you are, and you find out how bad it can be, and therefore it helps you to plan. It helps you to strategically plan going forward. It doesn't mean everything's okay about tonight. It doesn't mean that we accept it. It doesn't mean that I'm happy about it. But I'm not in charge of a group of blokes who don't care, and that's my main primary concern. And I'm not in charge of a group of blokes who are starting to doubt or are starting to not believe in what we can do. And that's my main concern right now. That'll be my fear. That'll be my mantra over the next 2 or 3 weeks with these men, is to just keep making sure that they believe, even though they're having a bit of a rough moment. A hell of a rough moment during games.
Even though the results haven't gone your way, do you feel as though you perhaps found out a bit more about your players than if things have been going the other way, like things were going swimmingly for you? You found out more in the rough spell than the good spell. You
have just said exactly what I've just said.
Right.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, in a fashion, yeah. So, I don't know if we'd have been 3-3 and a couple of competitive wins and a couple of narrow losses. We're still waiting for that moment where we're just got to find out what are we about. We're 3 years old. The club's 3 years old. The team's still trying to find out about each other. So I'm not telling you that I wanted this to happen. I'm not telling you that we couldn't win a grand final without this happening. Maybe we do go on and win some things, and we don't need to get beat like this. But what I'm saying to you is, usually you find out how ugly you are before you can start being really good. So I'm a bit philosophical, not just about tonight, but where we are over the next 2-3 weeks. We have played a lot of the better perceived teams in the league, the teams from the top 6. We was always going to go against it for the start of the year.
Will Chase Stanley be in contention next week?
Yes, he arrived in the country this week, and while there was some thought about putting him in, let him have a few sessions with the players first.
John Wilkins, any more damage tonight?
No, he hasn't done any more damage, but the bloke's in pain. He's in pain, the poor fella. So, in terms of, I suppose, any values that we're trying to build with each other, it's moments like that I make a big deal about. There are examples of players who are solely in it for themselves, and they're only in it for what they can get out of it. And away from the field, I talk to our players a lot about what are our values. St Helens and Leeds Rhinos and Castleford, they've got some values that have been honed over how many years, 100 and whatever years. So where do we grab our values from? And it's an hard job when a team's won every league they've been in. For 3 years, they've been winning games, and all of a sudden this club now finds itself losing games, and it's massively important that we conduct ourselves with the same amount of integrity as we do when we're losing. And people like John Wilkins' story with playing with a busted knee because he didn't want to get it operated on just now because he wants to see this team through some tough periods. It's a great story. It's a great story. It's something that we do hang our hat on about who we are and what we're about.
Is he going to have to get the operation done? It could do.
Well, he needs to get it clean out. It's not a massive one, I don't think, but he's got some loose bones floating around in his knee, and while it's a simple op, they're just a pain in the backside, you know, when he's trying to run, and it could be a 10-day. It could be out for just simply 10 days, but he doesn't want to get it done just yet.